welcome to the first experiment for forces and laws of motion. This experiment is the egg drop challenge. Now the challenge is to get this egg into this beaker without touching the egg, the tube, or the beaker. You may only touch the tray around here. Now you may not have a delicious rubber egg at home, obviously. You could use a real egg, but beware that if you break the egg, you'll be running out of eggs quite often and your parents might not be very happy with all the mess. So instead of the egg, you could use either a golf ball or a tennis ball, as long as it sits comfortably on top of your tube. Now you might not have a plastic tube like this at home. This is a normal pipe that you get from the bathroom and stuff. You could use a toilet paper roll. Just remove the toilet paper out of it and use that on top, and you can still place your ball or your egg on top of it. Tray, you might not have an aluminum tray like so. This is for packing food. If you don't have one of this, you could use just a normal plastic plate or a paper plate. Paper plate might get a little bit more messy, but you can use one of these as a substitute. And then you can use a beaker at the bottom. Now if you don't have a beaker, you could use, say, a jug or a bucket. However, this tray plate might not fit properly on the bucket, so you might need a much bigger plate, which will still work perfectly fine. You need your water or your beaker to be heavier. So you can either use water, or you could put something heavy like bean bags or anything that's you can find that it's heavy. So we've got a challenge set up. Now we want the egg to get into the beaker, but remember, we cannot touch the egg, we cannot touch the tube, and we can't touch the beaker. We can only touch or manipulate the tray. Now I'm going to you can pause the video here, and you can try and figure out how you can do this without me just telling you. Welcome back. Now, you may have successfully tried it and got the egg inside, you may have not. That'd be perfectly fine. I'm going to show you a couple of ways. Now, there's a couple of boring ways where if you go really gently and you could try and get the egg, but sometimes it might fall off. If I restart it again, maybe do this a little bit more slower, I could get it to go inside the egg, inside the beaker. However, that's not really as impressive or a fun part of the challenge. Now you could go really impressive and really cool if you do it super fast, and if I hit hit the tray like so, and then the egg falls straight down. The egg fell straight down, and the tray and the tube flew away. Now why did that happen? Now this egg is way heavier than either of the tube or this tray here. That means that this egg has a higher inertia. That means it doesn't really want to move if something else is moving. Now, so if I restart this here, back again, the egg wants to stay in its own place. It wants to stay there. So does the tray, and so does the tube. However, when I hit it really hard with my hand, and the tray flies away because it's really light, the tube is also quite light. That also wants to continue going along with the tray. However, the egg, being very heavy, doesn't want to move. I need much more effort to move this egg, but I haven't transferred any of my energy to the egg. So the egg is just going to want to stay there. However, it can't stay there in mid-air, so it just falls straight down. Now, you could do it by pushing the tray really hard, which is what I did, or you could do the other way, where you could pull the tray really fast. There goes it. Now, you could try this at home, and if you get really professional, you could try with a real egg, but obviously ask your parents before you break the egg or damage the egg.